Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get to know me tag. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So question number one is, what is your middle name? And it's probably pretty obvious just from the title of my channel. My middle name is Alexa. Question number two, what is your favorite color? I would have to say lilac. Who was your first best friend? My first best friend who I actually really remember, her name was Meredith, and this was when we lived in North Carolina. Okay, how tall are you? So I am about 5'6". Number five is, are you a cat or a dog person? Personally, I am a cat and a dog person. I have a cat and I have a dog. I don't understand why you have to be one or the other. The one thing I will not tolerate though, snakes. People who have snakes for pets, you are crazy. And I'm not trying to be judgmental, but like you are absolutely crazy. I cannot do that. Cannot do snakes. So your funniest moment throughout school, and I feel like in my brain, I think I kind of blacked out all of my really embarrassing moments from school. But I do remember one in particular, and I forget what year I was in. I was definitely in high school, and I was sitting in study hall, and my friend looks over at me. And okay, so actually to give you a little bit of background on this, I had started using a new moisturizer, and it was called Jergens Natural Glow. So this moisturizer, for those of you who don't know what this is actually a self-tanner. I did not know that at the time. So I remember sitting in my study hall and I remember exactly what I was wearing. My friend turned to me and she goes, "Shannon, I cannot take it anymore. You are orange. Why are you orange?" And I just was horrified. And come to find out, I had actually been using the self-tanner in medium to dark, and I have very pale skin. So it was awful. That was probably one of the funniest moments throughout school for me. Number seven, how many countries have you visited? I said 6 because I've been to Canada, the Dominican Republic, Bermuda, Spain, Malta, and I studied in France for a couple of months back in college. So yeah, which actually leads right into the next question, number 8. Are you in or have you gone to college? And the answer is yes, I have gone to college. I did my undergrad. I was a business major, a marketing major for the first couple of years, and then at the very end, I switched to French, and I have actually applied to grad school as well for the fall. So I graduated about 2.5 years ago, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm gonna get in, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. Okay, number 9. What was your favorite and what was your worst subject in high school? This is so easy. My favorite and my best class was always English. Math was my worst subject. Math is still my worst subject. Okay, number 10 is, what is your favorite drink? So I'm gonna go with a couple different answers here because as far as alcoholic beverages, I love red wine, especially Pinot Noir. And I can't say this is my favorite, but this is what I find I order every single time I go out. I always get a vodka and club soda, which is like not very delicious, but that's just what I find I always get. And then my favorite non-alcoholic drink is water. I drink a ton of water, which is so weird. And I guess apple juice. I love apple juice. What is your favorite animal? 2 different animals. I love dolphins. I think they're so cool, and I just love the ocean in general. So, and then I love tigers. I just think they're so beautiful and like majestic, which sounds super corny, but they really are. 12, what is your favorite perfume? My favorite perfume is actually Pink Sugar. I get it at TJ Maxx. It's like $20 and it smells like cotton candy. Number 13 is, are you a tea person or a coffee person? And I am both. And I'm neither, meaning I go through phases where I drink a ton of tea. I go through phases where I drink a ton of coffee. But on the regular, I usually don't really drink very much of either. Okay, so number 14, what would you name your children? So my boyfriend and I actually talk about this a lot, and we come from the East Coast, and there's a town that we really love that has a lot of significance to his family that I just really love, and we really like the name, and it's Kent. However, there's one problem, and that is that my boyfriend's last name is Clark. So for those of you who get the connection, our son's name would be Kent Clark, like Superman's Clark Kent. And we feel like he would be teased a lot for that, but at the same time, we love that name. It has significance to us. So, I mean, we're still throwing that up in the air. For girls, I really love the name Charlotte, and I really love the name Noelle because I think Charlotte is just such a pretty, classy name. And Noelle, I think is cute and it's pretty, and I'm obsessed with Christmas. So my poor children. For a long time, I was really obsessed with the name Holly. I really wanted to name our daughter Holly Brighton after Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay. Number 15, what sports do you play or have you played? I have played just about every sport known to man. So in high school, when I was kind of more serious about my sports, which I was never serious about sports, I was terrible at sports. I did cross country for a year. I did crew for a year, which actually I really enjoyed crew. However, some of the people on the team unfortunately kind of made me steer clear of it. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. That was like 10 years ago, so water under the bridge. I also did track my senior year of high school, which was really fun. I was not very good at it, but it was just kind of a good way to stay in shape and socialize. Before high school, I had done soccer. I did like baseball or t-ball. I did basketball. I did dance. I did gymnastics. I did acrobats. I did horseback riding. I think that might have been it. But yeah, so I tried everything. Wasn't very good at many things. Out of all those ones, I really enjoyed dance. I'm terrible at dancing, but I enjoyed doing it. Gymnastics, I loved doing gymnastics, and horseback riding. Number 16 is what is your favorite book? And I would have to say right now my favorite book is one that I just read in the month of December, and it's just one of the best books I've ever read, and I highly, highly recommend it for anyone who's looking for a good read. It is a dense book. It's not like a light read. You can't just pick it up. It's not fluff, and you can't just read it without like thinking about it, but it's really interesting. It's called Clan of the Cave Bear, and it's by Jean M. Oh, I'm gonna butcher her last name. Auel, 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 oh, so sorry. She's such an incredible writer, and it's basically kind of about a time way, way back in the day where Neanderthals and kind of what we think of as humans today we're beginning to kind of separate, basically. It's really interesting. I'm doing a terrible job of describing it, but it's Clan of the Cave Bear. Look it up. I definitely recommend it. It's such a great book. And it's actually a series. So there's other books, but it's really good. Totally worth it. Okay, number 17 is who are some of your favorite YouTubers? So for me personally, I like a ton of YouTubers. Are Casey Holmes, I love Remy Ashton, Kaylin Nicholson, Marissa Lace. I love Nikki Blackketter. I think she's so funny, and I would totally love to be friends with her because she's just so like fun and chill and everything. And then some of the OG people who got me into YouTube way back when are Ellen Blair Fowler, so All That Glitters 21 and Juicy Star 07, and Candy Johnson. And then I also love Tanya Burr. I just think she's so cute and fun. 18, what is your favorite movie? So I have two, and I know I've kind of been cheating on that because it says to just pick one, but I have two. I just do. The first one is Legally Blonde with Reese Witherspoon. Since I was like 14, I've been obsessed with that movie. I remember I rented it from Blockbuster. You guys remember Blockbuster? I rented it from Blockbuster something like 14 times before I finally got my butt on my bike, rode into town, saved up my babysitting money, and bought that movie. And I still watch it all the time. That's one that I will never get sick of watching. And then the other one would have to be Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn, or pretty much honestly anything with Audrey Hepburn. Number 19, are you single or taken? I am taken. Number 20, that's so weird to say, like, are you single or are you taken? Like, I just think of Liam Neeson when I hear that, but whatever. Number 20 is, what is your idea of an ideal date? Of an ideal first date? If I were to go on a first date now, I think a really good first date would be to go to like a comedy club like that serves dinner, because then you're kind of laughing and you kind of get a sense of the other person's sense of humor, and you get to eat food, so that's awesome. But I also, my first date with my boyfriend, he took me out for ice cream, which is really good. I think that's cute because you get to, you know, have ice cream, and you can kind of eat it really quickly if you want to get out of there, or you can kind of like make it last if you're having a good time, then maybe go for a walk afterwards. You can extend an ice cream date, you know, so I think that's also really good. Number 21, how many boyfriends have you had? I have had 2 boyfriends, I've had 2 serious boyfriends. Serious boyfriends meaning that we had the label girlfriend, boyfriend. So obviously my boyfriend who I'm dating now is one of them. We've been together for a couple years. And my boyfriend before him as well, we were together a couple of months. So he was my first boyfriend. Number 22, what is your favorite memory from childhood? I remember being really young, and again, we lived in North Carolina, and I just remember it was me and my brother, and I remember we were the only kids at the time, and I just remember dancing around our living room with our parents and like having Disney soundtracks on, so like Mary Poppins and DuckTales and things like that, and we would just dance and dance and dance, and I remember that just being so much fun, and you know, going for walks around that neighborhood. It was a really nice area for having kids. So 23, do you speak any different languages and how well? I do speak French. I am proficient in it. I would say you could put me in the country in the middle of nowhere and I would be able to find my way somewhere because I can speak the language. But I also haven't used it actively in the past like 2.5 years, so it's kind of fading for me a little bit. 24, do you have any siblings? Okay, so I was just talking about my brother who is 22 now. I do. I have 4 younger brothers. I'm 25. How would you describe your fashion sense? I really like classic and simple, but I also love really girly things. Number 26, what is your favorite restaurant? My favorite restaurant that I can think of off the top of my head, one is a restaurant in New York City that I've been going to for years with my grandma and my cousins. It's a little French restaurant called Tout Va Bien. It's amazing. Highly, highly recommend it. And number 27, what are some of your favorite TV shows? I loved Revenge. If you guys never saw Revenge, you need to go back and watch that entire series because I just think it is so good. Scrubs, The Office, or Christella, which is on Netflix that I just started watching, and I just think she's so funny. One of my favorite shows of all time is Gilmore Girls, and I just love that show. It's so heartwarming, and they actually mention the town I grew up in several times on that show, so I feel like kind of a connection there too. And come here, up, 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 up. What are you barking at, honey? What are you barking at? My very last one is tell us one of your bad habits. My worst habit is just allowing myself to become unmotivated, so I try really hard not to let myself do that. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye.